Am I the a-hole for giving my daughter a breakdown of what it cost to raise her when she asked me for her university funds? Original post. My daughter Ava was a handful growing up. Her dad passed away when she was 5, and even with therapy, she was a very angry child. I still love her very much. She's my daughter, and I would do anything for her that I can. Her dad didn't have a lot of insurance, but enough to pay off a small house and set aside an emergency fund and top up my daughter's 529 education fund. I kept adding to it over the years. Not much, but as I could. When she was 11, I met and married my ex-husband. I thought Ava was okay with it. She never brought up any problems to me or in our therapy sessions. She was not. When she was 13, she accused him of something inappropriate. I called the cops immediately. He was arrested and he lost his job. He was innocent. She did it to get rid of him. We divorced. I was obviously heartbroken. I did my best to not take it out on her. I did punish her. She started acting out. She got expelled from school, then another. I ended up having to send her to a private school, but even with a voucher, it was expensive. It worked though. She is graduating this year with honors and a scholarship. She asked me about the money in her account. I said it was all gone. She got very upset because her scholarship won't cover all costs. Even with financial aid, she will still be paying a fair amount. I said I would co-sign a student loan for what she needs. She said that she wanted to know where the money went that I wasted. So I got out a pen and paper and wrote it all down. The cost of my divorce, the rising cost of living that I paid for by myself since I didn't have a partner, her tuition and fees for private school. By the end, she was crying and saying that I was blaming her for everything. I never have. I did punish her for the trouble she caused with my ex, but I think that was reasonable. She's upset that she will have to take out a loan, which I also made very clear that I would not be responsible for paying it back. She thinks I'm being cruel by saying that she's responsible for stupid things she did as a child. I'm not, but I cannot pull the money I had to spend because of her out of my behind. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Info, does she admit the abuse accusation was untrue? Yes. Not a-hole. I'm sorry for your ex. I hope he has recovered from the lie and is doing well. She asked what happened to the money and you showed her. There are consequences and she is now facing them. Unfortunately, no matter what you do, she will find a way to blame you. Try to get her back into counseling if she agrees. Just know you did nothing wrong and take care of yourself as well. My ex is okay. We still talk. He got a new job. He is still angry. He wants nothing to do with her. If you co-sign a loan for her, be prepared for her to not pay it back, and for you, as the co-signer, to have to do it for her. Personally, I let her take out student aid. I hope she understands the horrific nature of her lie, and all the lives she destroyed with that one malicious act. Not a-hole. Edited to add, if your daughter can't get a loan without you, then she should explore her other options. Financial aid offices can lay it out for her. Or she can defer for a year and get a job. Agreed. Don't sign a loan. You already provided her with a college fund, to the best of your ability. It's on her now. A lot of things are on her. And frankly, I'm a little disturbed by the seeming lack of remorse on the daughter's part for her horrific actions at 13. If I nearly destroyed an innocent person's life at 13, and I did it intentionally, you better believe I would feel ashamed of myself for the rest of my life. This girl seems to feel no such regret, or even a sense of responsibility. Following up with crying about the consequences her actions caused, there's no remorse, and she wants pity. She sounds terrifying. Now for the update. Thank you all for your comments. Even the ones where you called me a raving bee for calling the cops after my daughter's allegations. First, my ex was completely cleared. He was never home at the time she alleged the SA. We have security cameras in my house. There are exactly 0 videos of him entering her room or being inappropriate with her in the common areas. I've already commented on the other evidence that got the charges against my ex dropped. She admitted the truth and said that she was doing it to get him out of our house. He's doing okay now. He has a new job and he and I still talk. Her excuses was that she didn't think I would immediately call the cops. She thought I would just kick him out since it is my house. She felt trapped and like she couldn't back down. She has never apologized to him. She has been in therapy since she was 5, both on her own and with me. To my knowledge, she never mentioned anything about SA to her therapist, and they are mandatory reporters. Second, I told her that I will not be co-signing her loans. I told her that I will be backing her up and doing my best to make sure that she does not default, but I'm not risking my home or my future for her. She fully understands now where her savings went. She's upset with herself mostly now. She realizes that the private school was my last choice and only necessary because of choices she made. Thank you all for your help. My ex was completely cleared, but the shame never goes away. Yeah, there's a whole former workplace of people who think he's a pedo. That's legitimately traumatic. Yep, ex could sue OP over it. If she called the cops before doing any checks whatsoever on the cameras, it wouldn't be that hard of a case, and OP would be wise to settle. Even on the surface, it looks bad. Yeah, he was found not guilty, but there's always to be the no smoke without fire idiots, and who can't understand how vengeful some children can be. Glad you didn't sign a loan. I do not think that the case ever went to court. OP says the cops investigated and dropped the charges. It went far enough that word got out and he lost his job. You can tell people the charges got dropped, but that doesn't always mean the person was innocent. The daughter has some deep psychological issues that need to be addressed immediately if it's not already too late. Currently have 2 daughters. The oldest middle school has always been off. She's been in and out of therapy, different schools, extreme violent outbursts and defiance, etc. A few months back, she apparently told someone at her school that my fiancé beat her on the way to school because she refused to hand over her phone before going to school. They reported it to CPS. I was at work at the time and actually had no idea it even happened until CPS contacted my cell phone and asked if I was aware of the incident. Of course, I was caught off guard to say the least. Needless to say, we both got the evil eye anytime we dropped her off or picked her up from school for the next few days. They even went to my youngest's daycare to speak with her teachers as well to see if there were any signs of abuse or anything at home. Obviously, when that happened, they looked at us funny there as well. When CPS pressed further, my oldest eventually admitted that she had made the story up because she's mad. They had argued, but that was as far as it went. CPS dropped the investigation, of course, but you can't ever really fully recover something like that. She's had various issues with extreme lies over the years. When she was younger and in different school, she told a teacher that a student had called her some extreme names and punched her, and she punched her back. The principal said they were going to pull the security cam footage to confirm her story. She caved and confessed that it didn't happen and that she instigated the whole thing. The principal was bluffing. There was no security footage. Anyways, I really feel for the guy. Guess I'm just ranting at this point. Really sucks when you have a child who is also a pathological liar. So hard to figure out what to do, especially in their younger years when you can catch it early, but they don't seem to respond to any form of therapy or counseling. If I was your fiancé, I'd be running far away. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my stepmom to pay for the damage her daughter caused, or I'm going to file a police report? My 16 female stepmom, 34, does not discipline her kids or give them consequences. She lets them have free range. I was over at my dad's house. My grandma was over there and I wanted to see her because I hadn't seen her in a while and because she brought me treats. I don't talk to my dad nor my stepmom that much, only my grandmother because she's the only person I like at that house. I have a Canon EOS R5 camera my stepdad gave me for my birthday. He told me to take good care of it because it was like $6,399. I took my camera over to my dad's house to show my grandma the pictures I took because she's into photography too. All was going well until my stepmom's kids came home from school. Her 7-year-old was making so much noise that she brought all her toys into the living room, not even respecting other space. My stepmom was in the kitchen cooking. I had ordered food because I don't like her cooking and she doesn't make me food anyway. When the food came, I took it from the drive. Mind you, my camera is still on the couch. That's how my camera broke. Some might say I overreacted, but I don't think I did. I literally had a meltdown, and I yelled at my stepsister for what she did. I already knew my stepmom wouldn't care because her daughter broke many of my things in the past but never replaced it. She doesn't like me, or like me there, so she probably was happy that my camera broke. I showed her the damage and she said I better buy back one. But that wasn't enough. I told her if she didn't pay, I will file a police report. But she said they're not in a good financial situation right now. But I was too angry to care. My stepsister broke it pretty badly. My lens were broken onto pieces and it came off. I told my dad if they could just pay back for the damage, but they said no because it's not that serious, so I should stop acting like a baby over a camera. I guess I was overreacting. My stepsister was laughing and my stepmom had a smirk on her face when my dad said they wouldn't be paying for anything, to say I was the first child and get treated like a stranger. That's the last time I will go back over there. I told my mom and she said she will have to pay for the damage to replace it. Now for the top comments. Not a-hole. Your stepsister is 7. She isn't a baby. Personally, if the item broken wasn't expensive, I would try to resolve it with your stepmom and dad. However, the fact the camera costs so much changes the situation. Your stepmom should be offering to pay and apologizing. It's not your fault they aren't in a good financial position. Why should you have to pay for the repair? If they don't come forward with a solution, then going to the police may be the only way to get the money back or a camera replaced. Thank you, and just know that my stepmom was lying about the financial problems. She said this before because she said she doesn't want my dad's money to be wasted on me. They spend money a lot. My stepmom has a whole closet full of designer clothes and bags. But when it comes to me, they act like they have nothing. That's why I don't ask my dad for much. You can go and file a police report for the damage. Take a copy. And probably because you are a minor, your mom has to do it. You can also check with your area. You usually have 3 years to file, so you can wait until you are 18 years old. You can file in small claims courts in your area against your stepmom and dad. Take date-stamped photos of your camera. Also, send a text message, separately, to your stepmom and dad, hoping that either one will answer back and admit that your stepsister broke the camera, and use the reply as admission of guilt evidence. Print any current, as of today, advertisement about the cost to purchase a new camera of that or a similar model. Not the a-hole. File the police report. And maybe your stepdad can help you, seeing as it's basically his money, and you don't need any approval from these losers. Just never go visit them. If you have the repaid receipt, just send a picture to them every time they contact you. Thank you. My stepdad can pay for it, but I feel like if you break someone's stuff, you should repair it. I feel bad because he bought it for me and now it's broken. He does so much for me and I try not to ask for much. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to be my sister's babysitter and putting her job at risk after she called me a deadbeat mom? I feel very stuck on what to do or if I overreacted. I, 24 female, have an older sister, 33 female. I had my sons really young at 15 and 18 with my ex-boyfriend. My sister was already out of the house when I had my youngest, so she didn't do any childcare. Not that I expected her to, just important for context. I'm really lucky to say that my ex is a very involved father, and we have an equal co-parenting schedule we decided out of court for years. We do 1 month on, 1 month off. We live in the same city, so this doesn't affect their schooling, and we've been doing it since we broke up at 18. I understand a month is a long time, but during the time they're away, I still see them by taking them to the park, doing drop-offs, movies/dinner night, even sleepovers, where they'll stay the nights and their dad does the same. So it's not like during that month we're no contact. We also do nightly FaceTimes. I do love that it gives me time to relax and be child-free, hang out with my boyfriend/friend spontaneously, even get to go out of town if I want. I still get to live as a young adult, and so does my ex, which is why we agreed to the schedule at all. It has raised controversy if I mention it to other moms, because they always say they can never go away from their children for so long. It makes me feel like an awful mom because I have fun during my month off. It's why I don't really mention it often to other moms. Anyways, my older sister just welcomed her first baby last year and it was amazing. We aren't the closest because of our age gap, but it did bring us closer. Her husband and her separated a few months after his birth, and she's been doing it all alone ever since. With the job market how it is, it took her months to even land an interview, but she got the job. Sadly, childcare in our area is $2,000 a month and she can't afford it. So either the paternal grandmother or I watch him during the week. Our mom would do it, but she had to return to work last year to pay the bills she can't. Luckily for me, I had my mom to watch the boys when I was underage and when I moved out. But I don't have to worry about childcare since I work from home and my boys are in school now. I don't mind watching my nephew. My sister goes in at 6 and gets off at 2, so it doesn't take up much of my day. And I usually do it 2 or 3 times a week, so it's not too constant. On Thursday, when my sister dropped my nephew off, she had to go downstairs because she forgot his diaper bag and left her purse and phone behind. I live in the 8th floor, so she was gone for around 5 minutes. When she left, her phone rang, and since it was our mom, I answered it to say hello. During the call, I see a notification pop up of someone liking a message my sister sent that said, "It's crazy how she can watch my son for me, but when it comes to hers, she doesn't care. I could never go to Jamaica to celebrate a man's birthday when I could be with my kids instead. Deadbeat moms are worse than dads." It shocked me so much I screenshotted it. My boyfriend's birthday is next weekend, and we're going to Jamaica for a week. It's my son's time with her dad. When my sister came back upstairs, I acted normal. She said bye and left. I thought about it a lot, and I got more ticked off. Why should I be ashamed because I don't have to do it alone? How am I comparable to a deadbeat dad like her husband who hasn't seen their son in months with no contact? Here I am doing her a favor, saving her $2,000 a month she doesn't have, all to be insulted in a group chat with people I don't know? When she came to get my nephew, I confronted her. At first, she denied it, until I showed her the screenshot. Then she said it's out of context, so I said to show me the full convo, then she refused. She said sorry but didn't seem sorry at all. She just wanted to leave. I asked her to explain how I'm a deadbeat, then she broke down in tears saying that she is a single mom since she receives no help, and I'm barely a mom, so I don't understand how she feels. I told her to leave, and she did. Once she left, I called her and told her I wasn't going to be watching my nephew anymore. I didn't want to tell her in person because I know she'd try to guilt trip me with even more tears. She sent me over 50 texts when I wouldn't answer her calls, begging me to answer, and that she's so sorry, and this wasn't supposed to happen and she regrets it. She said she needs me to watch him since his other grandma can't every day, and that if she gets fired, she'll be out of a job again for months and won't be able to afford her bills. I didn't reply. Now my mom and cousins are all blowing up my phone, telling me I'm a huge a-hole and to change my mind and accept her apology. I feel used and disrespected, but also do feel a bit bad since she does need a childcare. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. She is sorry she got caught, not sorry for what she said about you. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Not the a-hole. Your sister should know better than to crap talk the person offering her free childcare. Not to mention her criticisms of you are obviously a complete and total lie. How sad that your sister thinks so poorly of you. She absolutely is not entitled to your free labor. You did well by drawing a clear boundary and enforcing it. Actions have consequences, and your sister should have considered the potential consequences of her actions before disrespecting you so callously. It makes me really sad she feels that way about me, but everyone is telling me it's my fault if she gets fired and ends up homeless. I feel so conflicted. It's a lot. Just tell everyone that obviously it's not in a child's best interest to be cared for by a deadbeat, and the child surely deserves better, right?